So, in today's economy, it's exposing bad money habits, right? So, with the economy exposing people, it's not because people are lazy. All right, it's a common misconception, right? It's not because people don't want better, but because a lot of people were never taught how money really works, and now the prices are going up, debt is getting a lot heavier. The people are feeling their paycheck disappears before they can even breathe. Financial literacy is not optional anymore. It's survival. What's good? It's your favorite businessman, CEO Rico on Urban CEO Network, where we discuss real plays, real lessons, and real conversations. Make sure you lock in, subscribe, and drop a comment. Now let's jump into today's video. So let's start with topic number one. Y'all already know we got to get into it. So make sure y'all buckle up because it's about to be a ride. So the economy is not waiting on you to get ready, right? So let's be real about it. A lot of people, they waiting for the economy to go back to normal. Now between you, me and you, when is the last time things went back to normal, right? What if what we're dealing with right now is the new normal? And honestly, I'm going to just tell you straight up, it is. It's the new normal. We got higher prices, higher debt, higher cost of living. When it comes to approvals, it's getting tighter, more expensive when it comes to borrowing, and it's more pressure on your paycheck, right? So what does that mean? It means you cannot keep managing your money the same way you have done, and then expect a different result. That's literally insanity, right? So if groceries cost more, gas costs more, insurance costs more, rent costs more, and debt costs more, then why is your money plan not getting sharper? Doesn't make sense. This is where financial literacy really comes into play. Financial literacy is not just knowing what a credit score is. It's knowing how to make decisions with money when money is tight, right? It's knowing what to pay first. It's knowing what to avoid, how to use debt correctly, how to protect the money coming into your pockets. But right now, the people who understand money has the advantage. And the people who don't, well, you're going to get squeezed, especially as we're moving more towards into 2026. Because y'all see what's going on right now, man. Now, number two, you need to know your real monthly number. I speak with a lot of people and they really don't understand what this means, right? So here's where most people mess up. They know how much money they get paid, but they don't know how much it actually costs for them to live. Right? That's a problem. You need to know what your real monthly number is. And that's where I always have conversations with people and I always create a strategy. I actually was just having a conversation with somebody like a few weeks ago. And I was giving them a strategy because they were telling me that, about their financial situation. Now remember, I'm a financial strategist, right? Y'all already know my actual titles and licenses and all like that, but legit, I'm a financial strategist because I'm not just going to talk to you about money or credit or mortgages or business funding. I'm not just going to talk to you about all those things. I'm going to put together actual strategy, put it all together to where it makes sense, where we got step 1, step 2, step 3, and you'll start to see how it all comes together. Okay. Now, what this really means as far as like your real monthly number, right? We talking how much money actually comes in every month, how much goes out every month, what bills are fixed, what bills change, if you got any subscriptions that's like constantly hitting your account, what debt payments is eating up your money, and like what do you actually have left over after everything is paid? Because remember, it's not always about how much you can make. It's about how much you can keep. Nope, take that back. It's always about how much you can keep. Doesn't matter how much you can make. Because if you make $1 million, but you spend 1.1 million, who cares you make $1 million? You spend too much money. You still broke as hell. You know what I'm saying? So the biggest thing is this. You need to know the number. Don't guess. Because guessing with money is dangerous, all right? Like I just gave you that little example with the million and the 1.1, right? So even if you make $4,000 a month, which that's around like kind of like average for the most part, anywhere between like 4 to 6, right? You still can be broke. You can make 8,000 a month and still be behind. So because it's not just about what you make. Once again, it's about how much you can keep, what you can control, and then what you do with it, right? Number 3, cash flow is way more important than looking rich. We're going to have to dive into this one, all right? Because especially like within my culture and within my community, man, listen, we always trying to look rich. And that's one of the biggest problems today. Because a lot of people, they trying to look financially successful before they are actually financially stable. And I know a ton of people that actually falls into this category. And I ain't gonna lie. There's was really times in my life where I fell in that category too. So it's not like it's a shameful thing. It's just, depending on where you came from, what you were taught, that's kind of like the things that you fall into, right? So, you got the nice car, you got the new clothes, you know what I'm saying? You out here taking trips, restaurants, you know what I'm saying? You got expensive habits, Payments be everywhere, but behind the scenes, there's no savings, there's no structure. You ain't got no real breathing room. And honestly, that's backwards. And what we call that in the D, we call that keeping your fronts up. Where it's like, yeah, you look good, everything. You got a new car, you out shopping, you all doing this thing, but you broke as hell. That's keeping your fronts up. And here's the funny thing, right? When you actually talking to people who really out here hustling, who really out here like putting in the work, and they like, man, listen, I do all that trying to look good stuff when I get all these things lined up. When somebody come around and they're trying to like exhibit this, oh yeah, I got money, I got this, I got that. You can immediately tell where it's like, nah, bro, you really not it. Like your front's up right now, and I see right through you. You feel what I'm saying? Because cash flow is the money you actually have available after your bills and obligations are handled, right? And in today's economy, cash flow is the power. You know how they say cash is king, but it's cash flow is really king because you got to constantly have that money keep coming in, right? Now, what does cash flow do for you? It gives you options. It helps you avoid panic. It helps you invest. It helps you start businesses, handle emergencies. It definitely helps, stop living like check to check. I mean, because think about the people that you talk to or just seen like the news report on and stuff like that. They always say like, people spend their check before they even get it. And when they have conversations about like in certain communities, how the dollar circulates. And it's like when the black community, they say the dollar circulates about 6 hours, then it leaves the community. That doesn't make any sense. You feel what I'm saying? So the goal is not to look like you have money. And to be completely honest, the goal is to have control over the money, because looking rich while being financially stressed is not a winning strategy. And then think of it like this. You've seen these little pop-ups or reels or whatever, where they talk about, you got the broke person over here and all of their clothes, they made $600 jeans, $200 shirt, $1,200 shoes, things like that. And you got the actual wealthy person over here where they got $8 shirt, $12 pants, $40 shoes, right? Now I want you to think about this, because I done seen so many like examples of what I'm about to say. You ever like think back when you was back in your childhood, right? Especially if you come from like an urban environment. I want you to think about the Metro phones. Do y'all remember when Metro PCS was looked at as if it was like this bad thing, where it's like, oh, if you got a Metro, you broke? And then it's like we all wanted to upgrade to like a Sprint, to T-Mobile. And it was like, it's a cell phone provider that's providing you a cellular service. But one of them was more economic friendly, right? But it's like when you actually start to learn how money moves and how it operates and how you can actually retain more of it, you actually start to look at things completely different. Because mind you this, T-Mobile bought Metro PCS. So now Metro PCS is actually T-Mobile. It's just two different name brands, right? Y'all also remember when we used to go to the grocery store and it's like, I can't get that cereal. It's not name brand. It's like we so focused on the brand versus what it's actually doing for us. The person that has the $8 shirt on, the $12 jeans and all like that, and understand this, I'm not saying you can't get spiffy when you want to. Absolutely can. But the person that got the cheaper clothes, they got more money in their bank account. Why? Because the person that was literally just spending all this cash, $1,200 on shoes, $600 on jeans, $200 on a shirt, stuff like that, that's $2,000 on a tire that you're never going to get back. And I want you to also think about this. You're making another person rich by trying to look rich. It doesn't make sense. You're making another person rich by trying to acquire the more expensive things when you really don't have it. Now, if you got it, that's another thing. You got more options. But if you don't got it, why go through all that, right? Now, I want you to think about this for number 4, right? Every dollar needs a job. Hear me out, right? When money is tight, you can't let money just float around, right? So like if your pocket's already hurting, how does it make sense where you just got money just doing whatever? Like every dollar needs a job. And this is literally how I operate, right? So you got money that's for bills. You got money that's for food, debt, savings, investing. And then you got money that's for business and of course for enjoying your life. Now, here's one thing where I had to learn, and it's like, I'm still kind of learning too, right? Even though I know so many things when it comes to money, but at the end of the day, you always going to be a student of the game. That's one thing I'm going to say. I don't care how much I know, I think I know. I might know more than majority of the people, but it's like, bro, you got to be a student of the game because there's always something more to learn. But if you don't assign your money, your habits is going to outspend it for you. Now, here's one thing that I practice, right? And I'm going to be completely 100 with you. I'm the type of person, I know I blow money. You understand me? Like, I know when I go out to places, I don't want to be on no budget, right? But if I can't go spend the money on how I want to spend it, I'm not gonna go, because it's like I'm not gonna have the time that I actually want. And then if I'm on a budget, right? Think of it like this. I want to give you another example. Think about the time, let's say you got taxes or you got a large lump sum of money or whatever, and you didn't already have a plan for that money. How many times in your life have you went out, splurged, did whatever, and you didn't stash a certain percentage aside or whatever, and then you looked up and you said, damn, where did all my money go? I don't have nothing to show for it. Kid you not, I remember this was like in my early 20s, I want to say. Mid to early 20s, somewhere around there. I remember spending about $12,000 to $13,000 in a very short period of time. And when I turned back around and I looked, I was like, what do I have to show for all the money that I just spent? I kid you not. I think I don't remember it like fully, but I think I remember maybe like 3 pair of shoes, and they was Jordan. So I'm talking like $150, $200 at max. And it was like, bro, what did I do with all that money? And it's like, I understand who I am. So the better strategy to like go with, if like you get a large lump sum of money, kid you not, it really works. So just try it next time, right? Take a significant portion of it, especially if you not really like hurting, like for real, like let's just say you stable, you cool. Take a significant portion. So let's say if you had 10,000, take 8,000, put it inside a brokerage account, like an investing account, something like that. Just set it aside, but make sure it's an account that you can always get access to and make it liquid if you need to. Take that 8 grand, set it aside, right? Let that get some interest, make some money. The other 2,000, of course, if you got some bills you need to catch up on or whatever, go ahead, take care of the bills, right? But also set aside a nice little portion that you can like go do something with for yourself. You know what I'm saying? Don't forget to take care of yourself. That's one of the things that I always forget when it comes to like money or whatever. I don't take care of myself, right? And it's getting to a point where you start to get frustrated because it's like, bro, why am I just working, hustling, but I ain't doing this for myself? So you got to make sure you take care of yourself too, right? Because if you don't do these type of things, you will see instances where it's like, you know, it went to like convenience type things, right? You was eating out a lot. You got all these subscriptions. You know, you did impulse buying, right? Went to stuff that felt small in the moment, but it added up over time. Too many situations where it's like these little things. You buying this, buying that, buying this little $50 here, $100 here, $100 here. Next thing you know, you just spent like $4,000 on all these little things, right? This is why you need a simple money system, right? The system takes away your need to think about it, and you just follow a simple structure. It makes things so much easier, right? And like, it can't be complicated, because if it's complicated, you might just sit still. But if it's super easy and it's convenient as far as a system, you don't gotta think about it. It's just, you just follow the system, bam, you good, right? But it's just something that tells your money where to go before it actually disappears. Because you always want to make sure that you got that on point, right? And number 5, right? So you got to separate your needs, your comfort, and then, of course, the flexing. Now, listen, the flexing part, that's the one that's going to get a lot of us, right? Because we all like to do a little bit of flexing. And at the end of the day, it's not necessarily a bad thing, because it can be I'm not going to say like a humble flex, because that really just don't make sense. But it's like, bro, if you want to do a little bit of flex, like let's just say hypothetically, say you went and got a old school, right? Because that's what a lot of people from the area I come from, they go get old schools. I don't like them personally, but whatever. And they put some rims on them. That's flexing. But it's like, if you was like, you know what? I don't want to go that route. I want to go grab me a new suit, nice suit, good linen, stuff like that. That's a different kind of flex, right? But it's still super important. Hear me out, because everything you spend money on is not a need, okay? Now, we already know we got our needs, we got our comforts, and then, you know, sometimes we get into a little bit of flex. Now, let's break it down what the difference of everything is. A need is something that you must have. What's your must have? Your housing, food, utilities, you know what I'm saying? You got to keep the lights on. Transportation. Now, transportation is different variations of transportation. You don't necessarily need a brand new whip. You can go grab a car, say from the auction, $2,000, put a little bit of work into it. You got a car fully paid for, that baby run good, AC work, heat hot, so you good, right? And then insurance. So one of the things that we hate, you know, I feel like insurance is a scam, but legally we got to have it because you can't get your tags without it, right? And then, of course, your basic phone service. We need our phone. Just like internet, we need internet. You feel me? Now, those are our needs. Now, what's our comforts, right? Because comfort is something that makes life easier, right? So that's where we got our streaming services. We got our eating out sometimes. We got our nicer clothes, the better phone, the convenience spending, right? Now, it's not necessarily nothing wrong within this category, but you also got to understand where you got to like really manage that category as far as the comfort. You know what I'm saying? Ain't nothing wrong with the streaming services. Like we all like the Netflix. We all like the, you know what I'm saying, the Hulus and the Amazon Primes, but we also still got to manage that and make sure that our subscriptions and our streaming services doesn't get out of control. You know what I'm saying? Like have a nice budget. Okay. Eating out, ain't nothing wrong with going out every now and again. You know what I'm saying? Have a good little meal. You know what I'm saying? Like I put in the work. Let me go get some nice food. You know, have some nice clothes. It don't gotta be, you know what I'm saying, like Gucci clothes and all that. Like, no, like, you know, if you buying your T-moves or whatever, like as long as your clothes look nice, they fit right. You know what I'm saying? And then when you get the money, you can start to upgrade a little bit to the finer linen and stuff like that. And then of course, like the phones. Now listen, if you one of them people like, yeah, I got to give me a brand new phone every time the iPhone drop and all like that. I mean, look at it like this. Like, is it really a necessity? Because we all know, bro, when it comes to iPhones, when they drop new phones, the only thing that really changes is like the camera quality. It's like literally like I think I want to go from all the way from iPhone 12 all the way to iPhone 17. Bro, what has really changed? Seriously. Besides the camera. But it's like if you're not doing productions off the phone, why are we spending $1,200 every year or every, you know what I'm saying, 6 months or whatever, however, you know, they drop that freaking phone. And then, you know, the convenience spending. We got to control that. So if you out here doing the door dashes and all that, it's like, bro, just go cook you some food. It's okay. Meal prep. Right now, let's get into the flexing. Now, the flexing, this is where you spend the money to look a certain way. Now, this is where you kind of start getting a little bit out of control. You start buying above your means, right? You buying things to impress people who don't give two F's about you for real. That's stupid, right? Now, you upgrading before you even ready. You know what I'm saying? Like, I ain't gonna lie. I got a house. You feel me? But I want a luxury apartment. I'm not about to go get no luxury apartment when I'm not ready for it. I'm not financially ready for that. It just doesn't make sense. My life is not set up for it. But when my life gets set up for a luxury apartment, you better believe I'm gonna go get my luxury apartment, right? Taking trips you can't afford. I know so many people. Man, listen, my babe tells me about so many people that she knows that take trips that they cannot afford. I mean, they go on trips and they straight up broke. And it's ridiculous, bro. And then like you get into payments because you want to feel successful. One of the biggest things is a car note, bro. I done seen so many people go out here and grab these brand new cars, big ass cars. They got big ass payments, $800. Man, listen, I remember when I was younger and I remember people was getting like leases that was like $150, $200. And honestly, that was something that I wanted. I wanted a $200 lease. Never got one, but I wanted it, right? Bro, my car note $400 and I can't wait to get rid of it. Man, listen, when I pay this car off, I got a '08 Impala SS. I got my hybrid. I'm about to pay my hybrid off. I'm gonna have 2 cars paid off completely and I'm not buying no more cars, right? The only car that I see myself in the foreseeable future buying is the Cadillac. I think it's the CT5 or something like that, but it's a Blackwing V8 motor. I think it's like 635 horses. I found one for like 85,000. I'm paying cash for that car, right? But that's when I'm actually able to do it. I'm not leasing nothing. I don't want to do none of that no more, bro. I want my money to stay in my pocket to go towards my investments. Cause I got some investments that I'm about to, that I'm in the process of, you know what I'm saying, get ready for. That's about to like turn everything around, okay? These are the type of things that you want to stay focused on. And I'm gonna tell you how I tell my kids. You want to work for the investments and let your investments pay for your toys. Don't be out here working your ass off just to go spend the money on the toys. That shit is dumb and backwards because it doesn't bring you significant value after you get the thrill out, right? You get a brand new Range Rover. After 6 months, it's like, all right, man, I got a Range Rover, but dog, this shit is hurting my pockets. I don't even want this car no more. That's because the thrill you already got out already. You enjoyed the feeling, the luxury of it, and I was done, right? Now, once again, I'm not saying you can enjoy life. You definitely can enjoy life. But what I'm saying is you need to be honest about what categories the spending belongs in. Because if you treat everything like a need, you will never have control over your. Okay, never, right? Number 6, debt is not always bad, but dumb debt is dangerous, right? Now let's talk about the debt component. Debt is not automatically bad. It can be a tool, right? Like a mortgage can help you own property, right? Business credit can help you grow a company. A line of credit can help you with some cash flow. You feel like you need to pay some bills here, but you know the money about to come on the back end. It can help you, right? And even if you get like term loans, whatever, it can help you buy equipment or invest in like the productivity part, right, of like your business. But when debt becomes dangerous is when it's used to support a lifestyle that you can't afford. That's dumb debt, okay? Stupid as hell. Now, of course, depending on your upbringing, who you were taught by, stuff like that, you may get into some dumb debt. Don't look at it as a bad thing. Look at it as a lesson learned, okay? That's your L. Your L is not a loss. It's a lesson learned. Using credit cards to survive every month, financing stuff that don't make you no type of money. You feel what I'm saying? Like if you out here taking loans with no plan, and if you're making a minimum payments like forever, right? You're using debt to avoid changing your habits. And that's where people get trapped, right? The question is not just, can I get approved? It's not the question you need to be asking. The question is, will this debt help me move forward or will it keep me stuck? That's the financial literacy component. That's what you need to be figuring out, learning, you feel what I'm saying, and understanding how to put all that together to where it's not keeping you here, but you grab it here and it's taking you over here. You feel me? That's where you need to be focusing on, right? Now, number 7 is your income needs a backup plan. Now, let's talk about it. Y'all are getting mad about, Trump being on TV and he's saying this and this war and all like that. But here's my question to you. Are you going to let another man stop you from making money for yourself and your family? Because at the end of the day, no matter what any presidential candidate does, no matter what politicians are out here doing, because they going to get theirs, are you getting yours? Because I'm going to tell you straight up, I'm going to get mine. And if you broke today, you need to create a plan today so you can stop being broke tomorrow. Because you can't do nothing about being broke today, right? But in today's economy, it's like relying on one income stream is risky. I know you heard this before. I know you have. And I'm not saying everybody needs to quit their job. That's not what I'm saying. I'm not saying everybody needs to become an entrepreneur tomorrow either, right? Because entrepreneurship is not meant for everybody. Like it has to be in you because you're going to have those ups and downs, right? But you should be thinking about how to create just more income overall. Now, what does that look like, right? It could be a side business. You can have a skill that you monetize, whether you create some content for people, whether you got editing skills, if you got freelance work, like I said, the content creation component, if you good at sales, if you do good at, like if you have a skill that's specialized and now you can go consult with other people and teach them how to do it even better, that's a skill that can make you money, you know what I'm saying, aside from your job, right? If you got digital products, like my mortgage readiness guide, click the QR code right here on the screen and it'll take you directly to it. This is something that's going to get you ready to be ready to purchase your property no matter what the economy is doing. It's going to get you ready. Make sure you grab that. But digital products, once again, service-based work, you know what I'm saying? If you're doing overtime, do overtime with a purpose and then learn a higher income skill. That is a big one because learning a higher income skill can take you from here and boost you all the way up to here. Because when prices go up, we all know this, income stays the same. Your lifestyle is going to get hurt. So why not just be ahead of it, right? You can only cut so much, right? And at some point, your income has to increase, point blank, period. And that's why I always talk about the business component because businesses does a lot. You know what I'm saying? Even with the funding, the credit, you know what I'm saying? Just different strategies because the goal is not to just survive in the economy. The goal is position yourself to be better inside of it. It's all about winning, man. Like don't just be stuck, right? You got to figure out how to win, right? And I'm always real with y'all. So a lot of people, they don't have a money problem. That's another thing too. People think, oh, I don't make enough money. Bro, a lot of people don't have money problems. And considering the fact, like I'm in the mortgage industry, bro, and I be seeing people where it's like I see what their mortgage is and I see how much they make and like they actually be doing it. And I be like, damn, like I wouldn't necessarily do it, but y'all actually are doing it. I would recommend them to decrease a lot of this stuff, but they're doing it. It's the fact that they don't have a money management, like they don't have a system, right? That's their problem. They have a money management problem. They make money, but they don't track it. You know what I'm saying? They just spend it. And that's a real bad habit, right? They don't plan it. They use credit like crazy. You know what I'm saying? And they don't even understand it. Like, how do you want wealth, but you don't have a structure to go along with it, right? And that's where like the real disconnect is. You cannot build a better financial life with the same habits that kept you stressed. You know how so many people always talk about this generational wealth and all this different type of stuff? People don't truly understand what generational wealth is because somebody has to take a sacrifice on the front end, build something, put all their blood, sweat, and tears, build upon it, and then the next generation after them will start to benefit from it. They may enjoy a little bit of it, but the next one, they have to instill all the morals, the structures, and everything like that. And then probably like the third generation will probably start to feel and see what generational wealth is. But your kids probably not going to ever see that because they still going to have to put in a little bit of work as well, right? But something got to change at the end of the day. Your budget got to change. Your discipline got to change. Your relationship with debt has to change. Even like your income strategy. That even got to change. Even if you got to add more to your like education, your knowledge base, your financial education, that also got to be fixed, right? Because the economy is not forgiven to people who are moving blind. It's either you gonna get it done. How they say, it's this bigger gap between the poor and the rich. It's a reason for that, because the rich do certain things that boost their money while they don't have to spend more time. Because that's the one thing that we really don't have. We don't have more of. Money, you can always figure out how to make more money, but you ain't gonna figure out how to get more time. That's the one thing that's a finite resource that we have. We know we gonna die someday. So it's like, within that time frame, what are you doing to build to make sure that money just keeps pumping on its own, right? Now I got a simple exercise that I want everybody to do, okay? Take out a sheet of paper or open your notes, you know what I'm saying, something like that. I want you to write 4 things down. Just rock with me. Number 1, I want you to write down your monthly income. How much money actually comes in every month, right? Number 2, your survival number. Right? And be 100 to really sit back and think about these numbers, okay? How much do you need to cover your true necessities? We broke down with the needs, the convenience, and all. We broke that down already. Number 3 is your debt number. How much are you paying every month towards debts overall, my bad. And number 4 is your freedom number, okay? How much money would you need monthly to breathe, save, and invest and move differently? What is that number, right? Now that 4th number is super, super important. And don't just throw out no number. I need 10,000. Don't do that. I know you got a number where you like, and everybody kind of like lands on that $10,000 number, which is cool. But realistically, because let's hypothetically say you only need about $7,500 a month to really like be free. Whereas like if you made $7,500 a month every single month for a whole year, your entire life would now change, because you can pay off so many different things, decrease your overall lifestyle, and then just start having that money pile up and invest and stuff like that, right? Because once you know your freedom number, that's when you can actually start building a plan. Maybe you just need to cut some expenses out. I kid you not. I know somebody right now, right, where I know for a fact they make bank. They make some money. But when you talk to them, they feel as if they're broke. But I already know what their habits are. And because I know what their habits are, I know that's what's hurting them. It's the expenses is low, bro. I'm not kidding. Make bank. But they hurting because they don't have that put together. Even if you need to pay down some debt, you need to increase some income, start a business, fix your credit. Whatever you need to do to just stop spending emotionally and get rid of some of those vices or whatever. But at least you're not guessing anymore. Like, you actually can start like building from real numbers, right? Now, here's my main message for today, and it's super simple, okay? The economy is forcing people to become financially literate, because either you're going to sink or swim. You can't just work, spend, borrow, and hope everything works out. You need a real structure. You need a plan. You need to focus on that cash flow, because cash flow is king. You need discipline. You need an income strategy. You need to understand the debt that you have, right? And you need to know your numbers, point blank, period. Because the people who understand money are going to move different, right? And the people who ignore it, they're going to keep feeling like they stuck and in the same vicious cycle. That's that rat race that that Rich Dad Poor Dad taught us, right? Because here's the thing, the goal is not perfection. It's not perfection. The goal is awareness, control, and better decision making. That's the goal here, okay? And that's how you start changing your financial life. Now, if you looking at your finances right now and you need a better plan, book a 15-minute consultation with me. We'll go through it all. We'll structure it, and I'll make sure that you get on the right path to where you start getting rid of these debts, getting yourself into a better situation, stacking some money, and then we can even start talking about investing, all right? And I'm actually bringing some of my people on here that tell y'all I actually got them into investing. My one man, he was only doing savings accounts and all like that. I got my mans into investing, and now his portfolio is hitting on something, okay? I'm not saying I'm perfect. I'm not saying I'm the expert, but the people around me start to change their lives because I pushed them to become better. Right? So what happens next, right? Maybe it's business funding. Maybe it's a credit strategy. Maybe we talk about some cash flow. You know what I'm saying? Maybe it's just getting your business structured the right way. Whatever it is. Maybe it's just figuring out how to move smarter when it comes to money that you already got. You never know, but just talking to somebody else helps you. But the goal is to stop guessing and start building a real financial strategy. That's all I got for y'all today. You already know it's your favorite businessman CEO, Rico. Make sure you subscribe, like, and share this video to all the people who may need it. And I'll catch y'all later. Peace.